Hello and welcome to Happy Face Podcast. Today I have Mara here from Romania, going actually live from a city or town or village?
Town.
From a town, and the name
Town,
is?
yeah. Buzău.
Okay, Buzău. So Mara Ilinca, do I say it right?
Yes, Mara Ilinca.
Welcome here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me here, Martin. I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
Mara, you have traveled more than 43 countries.
I've traveled to 43 countries, making the 43 one just 2 weeks ago, Malta, for my birthday trip, actually.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
What an adventure to travel like that. When you are on the travels, you do astrology, traveling or conscious traveling. You are basically traveling, but you are more aware. Tell me, maybe you are on a plane or you are arriving on a train, and now you have the feeling you feel good. Could you describe maybe when a country feels great?
Yeah, so usually traveling gives me a lot of freedom, and it makes me feel alive, basically. And I get this question very often that, oh, what's the best country you ever visited? And I'm like, I cannot say that a country is better than the other one. I never believed in that, because every country gave me a different type of experience, gave me a different type of feeling, but not a bad one, Just maybe in some parts of the world, I felt more like, oh, this is very calming because I'm in the nature, because I can connect with the locals who are very hospitable, generous, kind. Or another country is more adventurous. I can do more activities. I can have more fun. I can do something I never did before, and it's thrilling, Sometimes I'm visiting a friend from a different country, which gives, again, another type of experience.
Yes, that makes sense. And for example, were you in Tajikistan? I could see on your history, like
Yes,
monumental mountains, great
Pamir Mountains.
sceneries,
Yeah.
Pamir Mountains.
Yes,
How was it there?
it was a different world, and it was so unexpected because I had no expectations basically for Tajikistan. I did my research how to visit the best spots, but I didn't delve so much in the depth. I let it to, okay, I will see there. And the mountains were just incredible. So beautiful and so majestic, different colors. And we were driving in a car by a local driver, because it's kind of the only way how to travel there. And in 10 minutes, we could see another landscape. And then we would be in 10 minutes somewhere else, and we would see a totally different landscape. It's like from grayish to brown to green to even kind of bluish, and lakes. And it felt like a different world. I even felt like on a different planet sometimes. Oh, and in Tajikistan, while we were passing the Pamir Highway, because this is how it's called, we were at the border with Afghanistan. I didn't have a clue we will do that, actually. So another thing unexpected, that we will look on the river, on the other side from the river, and we would see local villages of Afghan people and their landscape, their mountains. And then we even passed 40 minutes to their border to see a local market. And that was, again, a totally different experience I've ever had so far in my life.
And that experience was probably not only visual, like seeing all these things, but especially on the market, you would just feel the vibe of different smells and...
Yes, there were different smells, and because we were foreigners and the local people from Afghanistan, they don't really see women traveling in their country so much. And also, their local women, they are wearing a lot of clothes and they let only their eyes to be seen. But we were dressed normally. We took some scarves to cover our heads, but still you could see we were like Westerners.
Did they have mobile phones to take pictures with, or no?
Yes, they had.
Like a smartphone?
Yes, and I think they were even selling like iPhones. I don't know which type, but old iPhones. I don't know if they were real or fake or Chinese, but they would sell everything in that market, anything you could ever possibly think of.
Was there a moment, because you have traveled so much, that you came back and you felt gratitude for maybe where is your base? Because you probably have a base like at home in Romania.
Yes. To be honest, I haven't seen how they truly live in Afghanistan because I was only 40 minutes in that local market. In Tajikistan, to be honest, I've seen some poverty, but not so heavy poverty, especially in the cities. They were quite developed. They had even very big houses, fancy houses. And even if we stayed at people guest houses in Tajikistan, like poorly, but they still have bed, table, everything that they need. They live a simple lifestyle, maybe with some animals around, with a garden. And to be honest, I would love to have a house and a garden and some animals. Where I live in Romania, I don't have that. I'm living in a building block, which is very limited. So I didn't feel that about Tajikistan particularly, but I did feel that about other countries, such as Capo Verde, or in English, Cape Verde.
Cape Verde, okay.
Yes, we were brought to a very poor town, like very, very poor town. It smelled horrible. I never felt that smell before. And kids were living there like half outside, half inside. Everything felt damaged, abandoned, but they were still living there in such poor conditions. And you didn't see any nature around. It was just dust and sand and a lot of garbage everywhere. And that made me feel actually like, oh my God, these people are actually living like that here. And I felt like I should be very grateful and fortunate for where I was born, for how my family treated me, for the conditions that I had.
When you are traveling, Mara, then your lifestyle is on the go, maybe in a traveling adventure mode. It must be tiring sometimes. There must be some obstacles sometimes. That's just life. Do you have some micro moments when you just let go or are able to relax? Being it maybe a nap, or could you recall or remember how do you recharge your batteries during this crazy move?
Yeah, so how do I recharge my batteries? I honestly have no issue sleeping in the plane, sleeping in the buses, sleeping in any means of transport that I go from one place to another. I found that this is the way I can recharge in these trips, because if it's such a big time difference, then I may even have insomnia. And I could not sleep or sleep only 3-4 hours per night. And then the next day, maybe I take a bus from a place to another. And then during that bus trip, while I'm just doing it, sleeping, which helps me, of course, recharging my batteries. But also there are times like, look, for example, I'm going to tell you this. This is a very beautiful experience I had in Kyrgyzstan, actually. I was visiting a very ancient place with stones, and there were some carvings that the local people drew thousands of years ago.
Wow.
And there was inside of this site, archaeological site, there was a place with stones around the circle. And I just placed myself in the middle of that circle and I started to meditate. I started to connect with the place, with the ancestors, and I felt their ancestors were like warriors, nomads, who were traveling, who were fighting, who were, I forgot the name of this civilization. I'm so sorry, I can't remember
It's
now.
all right.
But they were very powerful, and I could feel them somehow. And in their language, in Kyrgyz, for thank you, you say rahmat. So I was like, rahmat. And then I asked them, can you give me some of your energy, some of your power? And as you may know, the solar plexus chakra,
Right.
which is connected with the sun and with the confidence energy and with energy in general, the mantra for it is Ram, Ram. So I was saying Ram, Ram, and then I was saying Rahmat because that is thank you in their language.
Wow.
And it's also the god of sun. In Egyptian, for ancient Egypt, it was Ra, right?
Right.
So, yeah, solar plexus, Ra, Ram in Hinduism, which is on a different continent, and then Rahmat, thank you, in Kyrgyz. And I connected with this feeling like a warrior, but also energy, confidence, joyfulness. And then I look up on the sun, and guess what I saw for the first time in my life? I saw a rainbow surrounding the sun, like
Whoa.
a circle. I'm not lying. I have pictures to prove this. And I was like, what did I just do? It was cloudy all day. And then after I did that, the sun came and it was the rainbow around the sun.
This is amazing, Mara. And
Yeah.
this is amazing that you position yourself in these situations, and then this magic is basically happening, and this alignment. You can live this in a daily life. I think in some aspects of it, you can live this connected life as well in your daily life. Would you have some way to describe how you really connect with yourself or with your surroundings? Because it takes some space. People are connected, but not really. Like, they are connected through the phones. But how is your journey when you kind of find the stillness and the openness?
For me, the best way to connect with myself and surrounding would be definitely in the nature, like forest, most probably, because I can allow myself to be free and authentic and don't put any mask or any way as, oh, I have to be like that here because I have to behave, or I have to be like that there because I have to. No, I'm just totally myself, 100%, and this really helps me to connect. I love to walk barefoot in the nature, or when I'm in a forest, I connect with the ground, with the soil, step by step. It's also a type of meditation to walk and be conscious and aware of where you put your feet and how the earth feels, the soil, the grass, and then when I breathe and I let all my worries aside, my thoughts, and I can go deep within myself and enter, I don't know, like a peaceful state of mind or transcendental state of mind. I'm there myself, surrounded with my home nature or my family nature. And then I open my eyes and I can literally feel that the trees can talk through the wind or how they move, and I feel them so close to me. Like, it's such a powerful connection that I have with the nature. It's sometimes inexplicable, and I feel sometimes like I'm Pocahontas And I don't want to be surrounded by people when I'm having these moments with myself in the nature. It's just me, myself, and the nature, and it's blissful, literally. Yeah.
Thank you, Mara. That's a beautiful. You took us there, and it's a very beautiful image. And do you nurture this openness, this awareness? Um, was it always like this, or did you come to this in this openness, basically, in being able to having this capacity to take in these feelings, to take in this beauty that sometimes I think needs nurturing yourself from inside, maybe through little loving kindness to yourself, or moments that you, as we were talking about gratitude. Am I off, or am I right? Did it come all at once, or did you always feel this deeply with nature, or was it maybe a progress?
I think us as human beings, all of us, we have a deep connection with the nature. I don't believe there is one person out there on this earth
Uh-huh.
who doesn't have the connection, maybe doesn't want to have that something else. But if you are open to connect, you will connect with the nature. And I think it's inherently rooted in our DNA that we are part of the nature, but we forgot as human beings how to get closer to the nature, especially if we are living in cities, towns, in urban areas. We maybe have some parks, but very few, or just a few trees, some grass, but not like a forest or a hill or the sea and the sand. And I think for me, it's the same. Like as I lived my life in a town, I could go in the nature, in parks, yeah, and I could enjoy my time, but never felt so deeply. That's true, because I never thought about it that way until I think I was 19 years old. I had my first internship in Germany, and close to the accommodation staff house that I lived in, it was a forest. Brandenburg Forest in Germany,
Yes.
close to Berlin, more exactly. And after work, I felt the need to go there in the nature and just sit in the grass. And I felt weird at the beginning. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm intruding here. Like, isn't it weird to just sit by myself in the forest? If someone would come, what would they say? Oh, look, this is a weirdo staying here. I was 19 years old, you know. So I was like a bit shy. And then when I saw someone coming, I was trying to hide behind the trees, like, oh, I don't want this person to see me here in the nature. At some point, they wanted to construct something, and I felt like Pocahontas. I wanted to defend that little forest and say, no, don't construct anything here. There are
Nice.
very wise tree living and some squirrels and some. I was like. So yeah, that was my first time truly connecting with the forest. Until then, I don't recall any strong moments, but I started to do my practice. Like, if I'm not there in Germany, then I started to go in Romania. If I'm not there, I would go somewhere else, and I would keep doing this with the forest connection. Yeah. But yes, I started to do this with the connection of the nature after kind of, let's say, not my spiritual awakening, but I started to meditate first 2 or 3 months before that. And someone recommended me, yeah, look, you can do these meditations, guided meditations from YouTube, and you can read this type of books. And I was like, okay. And when I started meditate, probably I started to enter more in my calmness, into my peacefulness, into loving myself more inside. So then I allowed probably myself to start connecting with the nature more.
I think you grew up in Romania, right?
Yes, that's true.
Do you have, or I will tell first mine, like I have a memory from childhood, and it still brings and resonates with me and still brings me joy until now. For me, the moment of stillness and joy and happiness when I was a little boy, growing up in the mountains, was when there was a first snow of the season. That I would just run out, and if it was a good snowfall, I would just stay there and get my energy out with the snow, and
That's
maybe there would be maybe then I would get tired and I would just lay down there in the snow, and there would be like a complete silence and stillness, and the sun shining, and the snow would kind of absorb all the sounds from around, and I just love that. And until this day, and I'm 37, I always remember this kind of feeling, and it keeps coming back every winter. I was thinking, if you have a safe place, doesn't need to be a story like this, but from your childhood, when you felt really like cozy, very joyful, maybe connected to a place, or maybe somebody took you somewhere, and take your time.
I don't know if there was only one place that I could have called safe as when I was a kid. Or maybe like there was this park in my hometown, and I'm very connected with this park because oh yes, actually this is a very good memory. Every spring, me and my father, who actually passed away, so it's a very nice memory to think about. We were going to pick up flowers early in the spring, like these little cute flowers in the forest. And this park in my hometown, part of it's designed for people with benches and a lake and things like this, but it is surrounded by a big forest in the same time.
Right.
So that's why is it very special for me, because when you go out of the designated area for people to sit on the benches, you literally enter the forest, which is very big around. So I remember my father would take me there every early spring, maybe March. We would pick up these little flowers. I don't know their names in English, to be honest, but like violets, this might be one in English. Violets, yeah, and other different type of early spring flowers. And I would be so happy because it was a quality time with him that I didn't had for I don't know, maybe so strong in other periods of time of the year. And yeah, I think I would make like these things that you put on your head, how they are called.
Yes, I know what you mean. Like these
flower crowns. I would have made this and put it behind my ear and said, "Look, I'm very pretty with the flower behind my ear." Yeah, I think this is a very good memory, and also this park. It's in general because my grandma used to live close to this park, and I used to have my summer vacations around this park and meet other kids to play with. So yeah, I have very lovely memories from this place. It was calm and joyful, and I don't recall any negative memories from this park. Yeah.
Thank you. And Mara, when you have some trouble, when you face a difficult situation, when it just gets hard, do you have some technique maybe for yourself, or do you have something to unwind and calm yourself?
So I observed in my life that one of my issues was dealing with hard emotions, like feeling the pain or the suffering. It was so heavy for me that in the past I would react in maybe toxic ways, especially in my adolescence, in my teenage years, until I learned new ways all the time. I did therapy, then I started to work on my inner work, work on my work on my self-development and read books about this, did some courses, and I found out the best way to deal with my heavy emotions is just to allow myself first to cry. If I feel the need to cry and release the emotions, just let them out. Also, behind the anger sometimes, because I might be angry or frustrated, but always behind that anger and frustration, it's also the need to cry. So I go deeper, I realize, oh, I need to cry, then I release, I cry. And if the pain is still there, I take time to ask myself, what do you need, Mara, in this moment? And I might say, I need a hug from you. So I'm just hugging myself. Or I might say, oh, I need you to just caress my hair, or I need you to give me compliments, or I need you to tell me everything is going to be all right. Anything that I need in that moment, I am giving to myself. Because I realize the most important relationship we will ever have in this life, and the longest one, from the first moment we are born until we die, it's with ourselves. So I need to water and nurture first the relationship with myself.
Mara, you like gained clarity through these questions, or you understood yourself better through these. You said you were reacting somehow, and then you learned new ways to orientate maybe in the emotions, and you started asking questions, and you started being closer to yourself, being probably kinder to yourself, as you said. And that's a great accomplishment. And I could see the calm in your eyes. First, we met on a journey because you were taking me through BlaBlaCars from Brno to Prague. You were driving the whole day all the way from Romania. And you were so open to take someone on the end part of your journey, actually. And it was instant, just like this. We could talk and we could connect. And I told you look like an old soul to me. That means this wise look that you keep company with again throughout this call, and I really admire that. But you said this is a journey. Like your Instagram account is evolutionary journey, and you have basically gone through your passion. I will let you talk about your passion. That's astrology and astrocartography, that actually mixes astrology and traveling. And it's part of your living right now, isn't it?
It's literally my biggest passion along with traveling. And when did it start? If you are curious about it, actually, it started when I was in kindergarten. I was maybe 3-4 years. And my mom knew very little about zodiac signs. So she would tell, oh, I am an Aquarius, you are Libra, and your father is Scorpio. And she would tell me little things about each sign. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then I started to ask everyone in my kindergarten, oh, what's your zodiac sign? What's your zodiac sign? And then in the school, everyone I was asking. Then in the middle school, in the high school, everyone knew me. I'm the girl who asked everyone what's their zodiac sign. I didn't even remember their names, but I remember their zodiac sign. So at some point, I decided to give myself a chance to learn more and took a course, I think when I was 19 or 20 years old. I did a 6-month course and I started to learn more and more. And I realized, oh my God, it's so much more complex than I ever thought. And you need also knowledge in mathematics, because now it's easy a bit because we have these programs online that they can calculate everything in a second. But before these programs, you need to do so many calculations. And in my school, we actually did is like, oh, what if internet is not going to work? Then you still need to know how to do some calculations.
Yeah.
And the natal chart is basically a circle which has 360 degrees, and there are 12 signs inside this circle, and each of them has 30 degrees. and the planet makes, there are 10 planets and they make aspects with other planets, and you calculate through the degrees. It's maybe 120 degrees, it's a trine, and it's an harmonious aspect and it means something, and 180 degrees it's an opposition, it's a challenging aspect. So it's very, very complex. And we have our sun, moon, ascendant, descendant, Mercury, Venus, Mars, asteroids, houses. Every time I talk about it and someone doesn't know anything, it's like, oh, it feels like you're talking to me another language, because they feel so lost. And I can literally read by the symbols I see, because now I've learned it so well. But at the beginning, I was also very lost in this. What can I say more about astrology beside the technical part is that through astrology, I've started to get myself better, first of all. I started to understand more my patterns. I started to see in which areas I'm good or not. I started to see, what type of partners I'm attracted to, or I started to see why do I have so many passions? What's my past life? What's my inner strengths, or the things I have to work on? And it gave me so much perspective, first about my personality, and also understanding others. And don't judge when someone is different, has different passions or different qualities, or talk in a different way, or pick different careers, or pick different partners, and so on, because everyone is unique. And you can definitely see that in a natal chart. And you start to understand also other human beings. And then you realize that you are all together in this collectiveness, consciousness. Somehow you are so different and unique, but in the same time, at the core things, you are still the same. I don't know how to explain this in better words. But yeah, astrology gave me so much more perspective about myself, about others, and also compatibility relationship. Because in astrology, you can see even that. You can see, why do you get along with some people? Why don't you get along with others? It's so, so complex, like I said. And talking about astrocartography, it also made me realize, because on astrocartography, you can see the map of the world, and you can see the planet lines on different regions, and each planet lines, according to your natal chart, means something else. For example, you have the Venus line, which is the line of love, and if you look, maybe it's on the other part of the world, and maybe you are not going to find the love life you want there, where you are, but maybe you can find it on the other side of the world, or maybe you can find someone from that part of the world that could be your potential soulmate, let's say. And it's the same for career, or for spiritual growth, or for personal mission, or for your destiny, for where you can have more energy. It's so, so complex, and I'm learning every day new things about astrology.
I love the way you put it, and you are a true expert in it. You have seen like over 500, now it's even more, natal charts. That means you have devoted your energy to explore the different aspects of different humans so many times, over and over. And I love this approach, because regardless if people believe the astrology or not, it still is a great tool, I think, to really start asking questions, start seeing a bigger picture, start seeing that there is more into what you're living right here with a closed tunnel vision. And these can be the maybe eye openers, and you gave me a beautifully aligned insight into my own aspects of life through that. And I'm not necessarily, craving this kind of explanation, but I was very, very inspired, and it was very, very helpful. Plus, you have just not guessed, but through your system, you have just known about me so many facts and so many inclinations of my maybe behavior or character that I was just blown away. And I see it is not a coincidence, because you have seen other people who were similar to me, and it all made sense.
First, I want to say that astrology is not magic, because everyone who wants to learn astrology can see these patterns, these things inside of a chart. So you don't need to have special abilities necessary. Anyone can do this if they learn things and use a bit their psychological type of mind, like observing the personalities of human beings and then seeing patterns in a chart, because there are archetypes. The signs, there are archetypes, and the planets are archetypes, which we find in a way or another in different people. Even it happened to me once when I was in Cambodia. I've met a guy very random that a friend introduced it, and it had something familiar with another friend that I have in Romania. So as I ask everyone, oh, what's your zodiac sign? I asked him at some point, what's your zodiac sign? And he said, guess my zodiac sign. And I was like, okay. And because he had this energy, like that friend of mine who was Aquarius, I said, you're Aquarius. And he was blown away, like, how did you guess that?
Oh my God.
It's the patterns in people, it's the archetypes, it's the energy, and then he said, can you guess my birthday? And then I used my intuition and I said, I don't know, let's say 10 of February. And he said, I can't believe I'm actually born in that same day. So
you know your stuff, girl. You know what you're doing, and you are guiding not only yourself, you are guiding also others. And what's your zodiac? What's your zodiac sign? You don't need to say that. I just like to say that because that question is probably going through all the way from kindergarten, actually.
Yes. But again, we are not only some people do this mistake. They think they are only that zodiac sign, that the sun in astrology. But we are not only the sun. Sometimes we can have 4 planets in a different sign, and gives us more the flavor of that sign rather than our main zodiac sign. And people are like, oh, I've been all my life, I don't know, let's say Leo. I am Leo, but I don't know, I never understood why people tell me that I need to be in the center of attention, or I am very passionate or generous. I never got with this energy. I don't understand why. I don't believe in astrology. And then I open their chart and I see, I don't know, 5 planets in Virgo, the next sign. And I'm like, that's why you have a little energy of Leo, but you have 5 planets in Virgo, and Virgo hates the center of attention. So of course you hate the center of attention. It's not like
it's
you
not
would love it
by accident.
Yeah. So they don't understand these little things, that you also need to take the whole thing in order to see the personality, because we are not just, I don't know, 5 keywords. We have our way, we use our mind. We have unique ways how we feel. We have unique ways how we shine in the world. We have unique ways how we take action. We have unique ways how we love, and it's different. And you see all of these different patterns in your own chart. Okay, I close my thing now because I'm start talking so much when it comes to astrology. I will never stop.
I'm deeply persuaded you really have things to say, because it really clicks in you, and you really can shine the light on so many different aspects, and that kind of opens up the awareness. And here we are again in an open space that opens up possibilities and makes you unstuck and makes you also go deeper. And this is what it's all about. Also in my approach to life, or in my approach through Happy Face, because that's so liberating if you go beyond what is visible at the first glance and you just put yourself in a space that you perceive more and you therefore also live more. That's why I'm so stoked about, double clicking with you on so many topics, and we are so apart mile-wise. You are somewhere in the Balkan, I am here in Prague, and yet we can be really discussing this closely. So, and I also thank you for being vulnerable. And it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to talk about various subjects. I love it. I totally love it. And you ask the best questions, really.
Oh, thank you, Mara. I have listened to some podcasts, and in the cities, supposedly we are walking like 10% faster than in the past, and the topics in the media are being kept on the headlines much shorter periods of time. That means they settle less, and then we skip. And then we skip to another topic, and then we skip to another topic. That makes me feel, or disproves that, like, we are more gliding on the surface of distraction, and going deeper might be hard for us sometimes. And talking with you about the things that make us kind of sink deeper and ask questions regarding, be it you ask question, what do you need now, Mara? I need a hug. This just opens up freedom. For me, it's easy. Just freedom. And I'm thankful for being able to talk with someone who actually sees life as I do a little bit. And Mara, what I wanted to ask as well was if you had a little message for your younger Mara, maybe that would really help her to live maybe easier. Does something come to mind, or something you would like to share with my or your audience?
It's very funny that I'm doing a mentorship with a woman from Mexico, and we've been on this journey together for a couple of months now. And I've met her actually in Tajikistan, and she's very
Amazing.
self-aware. She did some courses with Joe Dispenza, and I feel like she's very evolved. And we did this exercise, and you asked me about this now. We did this exercise in a moment, and she guided me through a moment in which I felt really sad when I was a teenager. And then me at 26 years old, I visited Mara at 12 years old. And I started to talk with her. And you asked me this like after 1 week. It's really incredible. And what I did in that guided meditation that she did to me was, first of all, she needed a lot of affection. Like, she always needs a lot of affection. So I gave her a big hug. I caressed her hair, and I told her that even now she feels lonely. In the future, she will not be alone because she will always have me by her side all her life. And I'm here to protect her. I'm here to give her reassurances. I'm here to give her all the love that she always craved for, and acceptance, because she felt judged. She felt like she couldn't be herself. So I'm here to give her acceptance. And even if the people around her will not accept, I will still accept her no matter what, because she deserves that. She deserves love, acceptance, understanding, compassion, empathy. And I believe not only for myself, I believe we, all of people, deserve the same thing.
That's beautifully said. Thank you, Mara.
Thank you as well, Martin.
Yes, and you can always do it, right? Even now, you can send this intention, and that's very liberating. You can also, through your astrological cartography, you can also guide people to places they might resonate with on their journeys,
Yes.
and make it kind of fun, easy, not that stressful when they travel somewhere, and probably look out for places and situations that might be just awesome, make for an awesome holiday, and that can be a huge inspiration. You are doing this online, I suppose. You even have a
Yes.
free guidebook. I looked on beacons.ai.
Yes, it's still there. I'm going to post more about it on my stories about this. Yeah.
Great
Yes, I
opportunity for people just to check it out and download, maybe. And any other exciting news or ways to connect with you, Mara?
I mostly use my Instagram account, evolutionary journey. I am open to answer to everyone because I have so many messages. I take time to answer to everyone as much as I can. Yeah, that's the place where people can connect with me. And about the astrocartography, I can tell people what type of energy they will encounter when they will travel to certain places, or if they want to relocate, where is going to be the best place for them in terms of love or career, business, spirituality, destiny, personal mission. Yeah.
One last question. What did you like in Prague here?
First, I wanted to say that I really loved the clock with the zodiac symbols, of course, first.
That means yes, that's the orloj. It is the astronomical clock. That would make sense, right? In the old town square.
Yeah, that astronomical clock, the garden you took me, and I have another one, beautiful, that you can see the whole view of Prague from up to a monastery. I forgot the name, and this monastery has a brewery next to it.
Did Břevnovský klášter, I think. I know where you are.
Might be.
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
That's good. That's the Halloween. That's the Halloween.
Sorry. Yes, it's the Halloween, and I'm living in Romania, close to Transylvania,
Woo!
where the Dracula is, right?
Wow. That's it. I will see you another time. You're always welcome here in Prague. I'm happy we are in touch. And any last thing you want to share? Tell us from down there, from the Balkans.
If anyone wants to visit Romania, I will be happy to show them around, to be honest.
Oh, that's so generous of you.
People write to me on Instagram like, oh, I'm visiting in Romania. I know you're from Romania. Can you tell me some good areas where to visit, what to do? And I'm like, well, I'm in Romania. Don't you want to meet up? And I'm going to show you anyway the best spots here. And they're like, really? Are you going to do that? And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Life's good. Life's good. Connecting people. All right. Mara, take good care and talk to you another time.
Yeah, thank you very much for this amazing session podcast. It was like therapy, really.
I really appreciate it. Did you like our first English version of Happy Face podcast? Did you like the answers? And what inspired you? If you learned something more about yourself or gained insights, please let us know in the comments and share the episode to somebody who might benefit as well. Do connect with Mara, as she is a well of wisdom and can provide a valid piece of information that can help you out on your way to better understanding yourself and the world. Thank you. And now, take a deep breath in Slowly exhale. And let's move boldly towards new adventures ahead.